Greetings and blessings, you Mason Greenwood lover. How are you doing? Welcome to a quick but insane update on Mason Greenwood as we catch up with Greenwood at Getafe. My name is Webb. This is the United Sport now. A news outlet, credible one in Germany, has just reported that Manchester United has set the price tag of Mason Greenwood at about 34 million pounds. Now that's 40 million euros, guys. 40 million euros for Mason Greenwood, a 22-year-old forward who is arguably the best right winger or winger in global football today after Kylian Mbappe. Honestly, if you bring a list of the 10 best players in the world right now, Mason Greenwood will be somewhere in that list. I can drop names randomly now in no particular order. Kobe Maino, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., talk of Kylian Mbappe. Mason Greenwood will appear in that list of the best footballers in the world today, the top 10 best talents in the world today. Mason Greenwood is there. Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, name them. Greenwood is in there, and Manchester United is said to have set a price tag of just 34 million quid. Now, this is not even a half of how much United paid to Ajax for Anthony Dos Santos. Isn't this insane, guys? Now, I do know that many people do not want him to return. Many, but not most people. Like, very careful with my choice of words. Many don't want him to return, but most don't want him to return. But let's say, in the interest of the many, not the most, we are not going to get him back. Honestly, should we be losing a 23-year-old academy graduate who is contracted until the summer of 2025 for just 34 million pounds, guys, in this crazy transfer market, when we as Manchester United are in a situation where we need every penny we can fetch? Isn't this being shallow-minded, being poor negotiators, being undervaluing our assets? Because in football, the biggest assets you have are the players. Now, tell me a bigger asset than Mason Greenwood at Manchester United? Of course, Kobe Maino would be there, but we are not selling Kobe. We cannot sell Kobe. Now, if Mason Greenwood is one of the players we want to sell in the summer, if we could spend 55 million, almost 60 million for Mason Mount, who was left with who was going into the final year of his contract at Chelsea. How dare we say we are selling Mason Greenwood if we could pay 55 million for Mount? How dare we say we are going to get 34 million for Mason Greenwood? It does not make sense at all. It's sheer absolute nonsense, and I'm saying this cannot happen because for me, I will say it again, we might want to get rid of Greenwood because of whichever reasons, but we've got to respect him. If you've got such a brilliant footballer, a big asset, respect it. Greenwood has got to be respected by all of us. You cannot be pricing him for 34 million pounds. It is insane. This boy in 21 La Liga games has scored 5 times and assisted 5 times. This is the boy who spent almost 2 years without kicking a ball, returns and shoots up instantly. And Barcelona are watching and they are willing. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid are said to be the two teams that are suited to take him because they are headed for a bidding war for him. Barcelona, remember, is in a rebuilding process. They will soon be getting a new manager after the summer, who will certainly want to build his team on a player like Greenwood, who has been shown mad love in Spain, playing for Getafe. But the price for me is extremely insane. What exactly are we doing? Which players are going to get us good money? If we sell Greenwood at 34 million pounds, are we going to give away Anthony for free because he has to go? Are we going to sell Marcus Rashford rather? Are we going to sell Marcus Rashford for 20? Because if you ask me, Greenwood is more valuable than Rashford. Never mind Rashford having a longer contract until 2028. When it comes to talent, anyone who talks about Greenwood should be willing to cough. 34 million or 40 million pounds should be for you to take him on loan. Because this boy is going to deliver the results. He's going to give you the results, the goods. You know, you're getting a full package. You're getting a proper full package. Can play number 10, can be false 9, can play right wing, can play left wing. What a baller Greenwood is. And you're telling me we are selling him for 34 million quid? Come on, guys. Come on. We're smarter than this. We can do better business than this. This, for me, is extremely insane. But that's the report that has just come through from a German outlet. And I mean, I was trying to dig and talk to my sources about it, and everyone seems to suggest, well, the most likely thing that Ineos could do might be selling him. But okay, if that's going to be the case, sell him for the right fee, sell him for the right price. You cannot be letting go, greatest asset, the best forward in the world today, the hottest winger in global football. Each club needs such a player. Each club needs a Greenwood because wingers, that's why Man United has broken the bank, spent millions and millions on the Antones, on the Jadon Sanchos to try and get a proper right winger. We are talking about going for Michael Olise. We want a proper right winger. Garnacho solved the big problem. Garnacho's a switch to the right wing has yielded over 15 goals for Manchester United already. It's important that you have a performing right winger. That is an important asset we've got in Greenwood. If we don't want him, we've got to sell him for the right price. We cannot be letting him go for pocket change in this transfer market, in this transfer generation, where players like Anthony are sold or bought for 85 million quid. List the top players, top 10 players in the world of football today. Mason Greenwood's name will be there, and in no particular order. I will name him, put him there, and he could even be among the best 5 or 6. Same class with he's world class. That's the reality. He's a world class forward. So you cannot be telling me you're saying a world class forward whose contract runs out in the summer of 2025 for just 34 million pounds when you want money. If we're Manchester City, if we're Paris Saint Germain, if a player like I think Calvin Phillips was sold for about 40 million, or Palmer, I think the former Man City guy at Chelsea. I think he's the one who was sold for about 40. I think even Calvin Phillips to West Ham was close to that. How can these players be more expensive than Mason Greenwood? Just think about it in this crazy transfer market where players are overpriced. Greenwood should be £100 million player. Any club that wants to mention the name Greenwood should first put 50 million on the table, then we start listening. 50 million more paid over in one installment. You see the way David Gill said Real Madrid signed Cristiano Ronaldo from Manchester United. You pay the money up front. In the full 80 million pounds was paid to Manchester United in the back account. Now at that time it was crazy. Real Madrid paid the whole full price of it, 80 million bank account for Manchester United. Take your player. We should be saying 100 million bank account of Manchester United. Okay, sadly, Greenwood, we wish you well, son. But we cannot be letting go of Greenwood at 34 million pounds. Guys, for me, that's demeaning him, disrespecting him, trying to crush him even in departure. What message are we sending? What kind of negotiators do we have? So we are players are overpriced to us, and we cannot sell our best asset for the right fee. How insane can this be? Does it get any more insane than this? It's so sad, guys. It's so sad. But that's the report we got coming through from a decent source in Germany, Fußball News, that said that Greenwood, a bidding war is about to happen. And I mean, you love the fact that Spain have understood what he's made of. In Spain, certainly he's going to be loved. He can actually make the Spanish league more attractive to fans globally. A lot more people will watch the La Liga because of the presence of Greenwood in a big club like Atletico or Barcelona. Trust you me, Greenwood could make him and Jude Bellingham, for example, the dying El Clasico. Just him being at Barcelona and Greenwood and Jude Bellingham at Real Madrid might resurrect the died El Clasico. So that's how important this kid is. So anyway, let's hope he moves on, finds joy and happiness again at a big club. But I hope it's for the right fee, guys. It's insane.